Yo, it's the Jolly and Slimm Show. Here, let's go. Time to lock in, turn the volume up. We bring that heat, yeah, we keep it tough. Mindset, hustle, life on the go. You already know it's the Jolly and Slimm Show.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 9 of the Jolly and Slimm Show. I'm Slim, and he's Jolly. And let's just jump right into whatever it is that we're gonna do, man. How's the previous 6 to 7 days been for you?
It was kind of rough this past week at school because we were getting prepared for spring break.
Getting ready for spring break.
And usually last year we were spring break a week earlier. So
Right.
Kids were, you could tell that everybody's ready for that break. And so we got through that. We had our what you call a spring showcase, kind of like a fall festival,
Sure.
just in the springtime. So we did that Thursday and then made it to the weekend. I get my son on Wednesday afternoon, so I kind of got a few days to get cleaned up and try to get that laundry put up that we talked about last time.
That's right. Keep working on that laundry.
I saw that short today when I was going through and trying to get something to post, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this. but yeah, so I've been working on that, and like yesterday, dude, like I pretty much slept, woke up, ate something, slept again. And like I pretty much slept most of the day, and it felt great because I felt like I needed it. You know, I was like, man, if my body's telling me to go to sleep like this, I need it.
So your body knows, you know?
Yeah, as much as you think that you can just keep going, I mean, you do need rest.
It knows what you need when you need it. You know, you get hungry, you get thirsty, you get tired, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are things that just happen. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not doing it right, you'll mess something up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as anything in the VFran card world, I did hit that pristine shrewd shark.
You sure did.
On Jeremy Nodes' show, which was awesome. Because, like, now that I'm, collecting the shark a little bit, like, that card right there, I don't know how many pristines there are of that actual one.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Jeremy did say that's like, besides hitting the 101, which someone already hit, that's the next highest card in that.
Because there's only 50.
It's out of 50.
Yeah, so it's the lowest numbered, other than the 1 of 1.
But then how many pristines are there?
That's right. Yeah.
So I kind of got. I mean, I don't really know.
It might be the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. See, if it's the only one, then that's like the next highest card than the 1 of 1.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I have no. That's what's crazy when you hit big cards of like stuff you're collecting. You don't really have
you don't really have the desire to move it.
Yeah. So like.
So it doesn't really matter what it's worth to someone else, because you're not going to sell it to them anyway, most likely.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't even know what the value of it would be. Like, I know that someone told me that the Ash, I think it's the Ash card. I think it's out of 99, Ash Cloud.
Yeah.
So I think it's out of 99. I have the CGC 10 of the Ash Cloud for the Flamingo, and I think they're running around 130 to 150, if I'm not mistaken. So like. And that's the 99. So the 50.
Yeah, that could be 50, a $200 to $300 card, I would say.
And it's pristine. So
that's
I would say, I'm guessing here. I would say anywhere between $200 to $300.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Which is not bad. On Jeremy's birthday stream, which I don't know if you got into it, but it was a pretty cool stream. Jeremy at his house. Did you hear the news that he's moving?
Yeah, I was watching most of it. Yeah.
And did you see him doing his breakdancing later on in the night when he
I saw him try to replicate the taekwondo card. That was probably the only funny moment that I saw.
Well, Frodo apparently, I guess he knew his address, so he got him two cupcakes delivered. So, and then later on that night, Jeremy stopped the stream, got his cupcake, said pretty much a toast, which was pretty cool. It was a cool little toast to everybody, and then he played the song "Pump It Up," not "Pump It Up" the jam, "Pump It Up" is this different one,
Right.
and like kind of raged there for a little bit, and then like it was a pretty cool moment just to
That's
see him
funny.
kind of in a different element other than like V Friends.
Yeah.
But it's definitely cool. So yeah, it was crazy because like when I put a new card in on the whatnot, so when I bought that spot originally, like the payment failed.
Oh no.
So Jeremy was like, and I was like, gosh, I knew that I just added a new card, so I like had to go in and switch cards around. So like I almost didn't get that spot.
Wow.
And then, so then when I got it finally, and I think I only paid like, so I said $48 with
But I think
I
that
had a
was
five
with
dollar
the shipping. Yeah.
well no, I had a $5 coupon.
Oh, okay.
So but someone else told me it was like $44 and then I had a $5 coupon. So I got it for like $40.
Either way, yeah.
And I mean, I was taking the risk of getting that one because I don't think I have that. I think I almost have the rainbow of the Shrew Shark,
Heck yeah.
but I need the 101, but I'm not gonna chase the 101.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless somebody just wants to gift it to you, right?
Yeah,
Do you know
if
who
it
has
comes
it?
around, who?
Do you know who has it?
No, I have no idea.
I mean, I've seen
I mean,
pictures of it, but I don't remember who got it.
yeah, like if it comes around in a trade maybe,
Yeah.
and it's something I'm like, I got a bunch of stuff I didn't like. I don't really care to have. I would trade it for like that.
Sure.
I mean, how much you think that would run then?
I don't know.
'Cause,
My
like,
guess is I would guess $500 or $600 maybe.
okay,
I don't
because
think I don't think just because it's a one of one auto, I don't think that the super stickers, except for like the Black Cat one, obviously was like a big deal. Like the Josh pulled, like that one was a really big deal. So I think that there's gonna be a little bit of a gap between like the super sticker one of one autos and like the series 2
yeah,
card one of one
I've
autos. You
noticed
know what I mean?
that. But with this being, and I'm just speculating. I'm just throwing this out here. I'm not saying I believe this one way or another, but like with it also being the Burning Island stickers, that there was only what 398 or 498, no 398, I think, or
Yeah.
something like that. Actual people who claimed, I think it was 398. I want to say 498 for some reason, but none of the cards are the 500. Well, they don't have to be the 500, I guess. I'm talking to myself, sorry.
You're good.
But I think I think um, with it being like kind of a short print, you know.
Yeah. Well, the core Burn Island cards are numbered to 199, right? Like the highest numbered ones
Yeah,
are numbered to
199.
199. Well, part of the Halloween set, the zombie core is 199.
Okay.
Now some of the other ones are 299.
Okay.
But like but they were different. Like there were less of some than of others. So there's other stickers out there that have the 199
Okay.
as the highest number you can get. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't think
And
that's as big of a deal necessarily, but at the same time, like, you know, I mean, there's still pretty short print on those.
and I've also noticed that the actual the Burn Island sticker is the one that's holding value right now because that's the only card.
It's the only one, right? Probably
Yeah.
ever.
So
Personally, that doesn't really mean anything to me because it's just a picture of an island.
I'm with you.
It's just not. It's not. It doesn't like because Burn Island is a thing inside the V-Friends ecosystem. Like people will know what it is. But if you just went to some kid at a trading card show and you were like, "Hey," he'd be like, "No, like I want the ones with the characters on them." You know what I mean?
And I'm like, okay, trade me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think that like overall the Burn Island sticker is, it's not that cool to me. I guess like I would rather have a character sticker.
It's one that I'm keeping because it's my first burn.
Yeah.
I have two of them. So one of them was actually just part of the core, which I have the whole core set at 10s graded. So I
that's
have
cool.
the whole. So I have that set graded, and then I have a couple other ones. But I have a core of that one, and I have a not out of 50. I would say I want to say maybe out of 149 because there's a 199 and then a 149, and then it goes to 99.50. But so I think it's the 149 that I have of that.
Right.
So I mean, I'm probably gonna keep both of them just because I'm probably down the road maybe end up selling one of them because if it happens to be like you wanted everybody searching, you know,
Sure.
I have a 9 at graded 9 at it. So
did you
that way
know? Did you know what characters were going to be on those stickers before you burned, or was that something that we found out after?
Like me personally,
just in general,
like
yeah.
I think you knew ahead of time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I do remember when I did it, I was thinking in my head because of the characters I haven't resonated with any of those characters, so I was like, I don't really like these, but I was trying. I just wanted to do I wanted to see what the burn was about, and
Sure.
and I knew that it would be a limited run, you know, and that it could be something that worst case scenario I could sell each slab for $20, and
what
actually
was
make a $20 profit off each box because when I bought the book games, I think they were around like $85.
Right.
I checked the other day, I think they were at like 60 something. So honestly,
whenever we burned for my Chrome and Cocktails ticket, they were like 75.
So. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, if you got the money, I would tell people to like, if you got an extra $150, go buy one or two book games and hold on to it when they do things like this because I mean, I got two of those boxes that I know right now I'm gonna sell the cards I'm not keeping and make my money back on the purchase originally.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean,
it's not. Did you have to do anything else, or did you just have to burn two? You don't have to hold anything.
You just had to burn two tokens, but I had to actually go in there and Jeremy walk me through how to like
set up your account and everything. Yeah.
And then turn around and burn them. He walked me through, and I mean, it wasn't a hard process, but
yeah, I've done it before. I burned for something. Oh, I burned to make the zombie super sticker.
But if you're not somebody that's like really understanding that stuff, it might be hard to figure out. And on things like that, my first go around, I have to talk to people because like, and right now I know who to talk to in the V Friends world.
Oh, of course.
Jeremy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are like the person for that particular topic.
Yeah, it's like, that's Jeremy's job essentially. I mean, is to walk people through that. That's what he does. Yeah.
Anytime I have a question, I send him a message like, hey.
Yeah.
Because I think my next
I actually need to message him about something.
My next purchase I may get though is a ledger.
Yeah, I have a ledger. It's set up for. I don't know if you can add multiple coins to it or not. I don't know, but I have one that's set up for. It has a bunch of my Tezos
because of the way that
NFTs on it.
I don't know if you paid attention much this week or not, but like there's a bunch of people in the V Friends world getting their stuff taken.
Yeah.
And they're cloning profiles of people we know.
Right.
And and
I'm not even in the Discord, so
I'm in it, but I don't really list. I don't really get in it to do anything. But like, I'm not gonna say that. I knew with Topps Chrome pumping out like it is and bringing in a bunch of new people, like I knew we were gonna have some like scammers popping in trying to make a quick buck. I didn't really think about scamming as far as like NFT wise. I guess probably because I'm not in it like that I don't think about it all day. I mean, I have a couple NFTs, but it's not something that I'm like and maybe I should be.
You're not moving and shaking in that world, so you don't see all the things that are happening there. So yeah.
So like, but again, I knew that there was going to be some scammers popping in, and I guess with them knowing popping in, and they see the NFTs popping off and people talking about them, they knew. It's just crazy. They like clone people that we know in the community, and start conversations with people, and those conversations may actually feed into like what you normally talk about. That's what's crazy, because sometimes you get someone trying to scam you. You can tell by the way the sentences typed out, like if that's that person really talking.
Right.
If you know somebody really well, you're gonna be like, hold up, that's not them talking.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like you. Yeah.
And they may, and I feel like they're getting better because they're actually, I think they're able to read the conversations ahead of time to understand what was being talked about.
Interesting.
So that's why it may be harder for maybe people to pick up, especially with AI. It can just literally probably create a whole nother
and sound like them and everything. Yeah.
So that's just, and I feel like when Topps Chrome cards actually come out, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I see it in the sports world all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're going to actually have some people maybe scamming sales on whatnot. But maybe not. But I don't know, though, because, like, I feel like anybody who's really going to get some, like, hobby boxes
is a reputable,
it's going to be somebody we know. And, like, honestly,
even if they're not somebody we know, they're going to have to be somebody, for the most part, they're going to have to be somebody that's reputable inside the, like, breaking community anyway, because they're going to be Topps dealers and Topps breakers, right? So there's a lot at stake.
If To the Moon's doing breaks, of course, no problem.
Yeah,
V-Friends, of course. I mean, we can name streamers all day long that we know that like you get into there, it's going to be legit. So I think I think that right there is actually going to help the scamming a lot, because most people are going to know the person they're breaking with. Or if they don't know them, they know that there's somebody in the community that is reputable.
Right.
Now, I heard that Mama Breaks may have it, but she spoke at VCon. So, like, and she's a big time breaker. So I would never think that anything, I mean, she does a lot of sports cards too.
Yeah.
So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the people that are getting direct access to this product are not so and so down the street. You know what I mean? They're already like reputable Topps vendors and Topps breakers, right? So like, because Topps has a breaker program that you can be part of, right? So like, those people have access to this. It's not just like the kid that started a whatnot channel and went and bought some cards from Walmart, and you know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're looking at here.
Well, I'm just worried about the ones who bought the cases from David Adams. Like, you know, anybody could buy that. So, but you had to be on point. And honestly, I just don't. And I'm kind of like having an argument.
But how many people outside of the community were ready to buy that when David Adams listed it, knowing what it was going to be? Like, they don't know, you know? So I don't think we even have that problem.
And is somebody going to take a gamble on some V-Friends cards that they don't know about just because people are talking about it? I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the prices of like a case or not for a hobby.
Right.
But if I saw a blaster, which is 40 blasters at $2,000. So if that's $2,000 for 40 blasters, the hobby, which is 12 boxes, I would say what, $3,500 maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how to do math that fast.
I just threw a number out there. I didn't do any math. But
so I think this is an interesting, like, okay. So I want to speak. Go ahead.
The point is, I don't know if, like, I feel like we're going to see scammers like that, but maybe we won't, because people may not.
I think that scammers have another thing coming if they think they're going to. Because I think that this community is so close-knit. This isn't sports cards, bro. You know what I mean? It's not even Pokemon, right? Like eventually maybe, but it's not right now. Like you're not going to turn on your Whatnot app and start scrolling through and seeing a ton of people breaking VFriends cards, even though Topps Chrome is a thing now.
And I mean, you got to think about it
it's
also.
Just not going to happen. Like
in the sports world is cutthroat.
Yeah,
and
of course.
People allow sometimes mess up things to happen. In the VFriends world, when one person finds out or something sketchy happens,
if I mess up, somebody's going to call me out on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like you're going to get a message saying, "Hey, watch out for this person. Hey, watch out for this person."
Yeah,
so
and
like,
I just feel like people don't realize that that's what's gonna. I don't think there's going to be that much scamming. I don't know that there won't be people that will try to scam people. I just don't think that they'll be successful at it.
Yeah. And it may happen more on the outside market rather than the streaming breaking market because like eBay and like sales, like one-on-one
somebody
sales.
Could list a hobby box on eBay for $200 and not actually have it and not ship it, but then eBay's going to fix that, right? So like potentially, you know what I mean? So like that isn't even a huge risk either. I don't think. I think there's always going to be risk when you're buying things from people that have to be shipped and stuff like that. I don't see that there's going to be a huge issue here. Now I'll tell you what I think is the scam. I mean, it's happening right now. Dave and Adams. I think they're a scam. I'll tell you why. I'm going to stand by. We're going to clip this.
Yeah, clip it. Cause
they're buying boxes for $175, and then they're selling them for $250 or whatever, right? Why would you sell them a box for $175 if you know they're going to just turn around and sell it to somebody for $250? Why wouldn't you just sell it to me for $175? Why wouldn't you just sell it inside the community for $175? Because now you know that. Yeah, now you know that they're going to sell it to somebody inside the community for $250. That's not cool.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I feel like that's the scam right now. Like, why would we be selling our boxes to them for a $75 markup when we could sell it? You could sell it to somebody inside the community for $200, make $100.
But maybe
and cut them out of the loop. Like,
let's think about this though. Maybe they're doing that because they know the people in the community are going to protect each other. Maybe this is to get the actual scalpers to go ahead and make their money and get out.
I don't understand.
So say they got these boxes for $99 each.
Yep.
Well,
I see what you're saying.
And say their plan was to like flip it and all that stuff. Now this is a way for them to go ahead and sell their boxes back, making X amount. If you set at $175, you paid, $100. You're making $75 a box, let's just say, and you're fine with that. You can go ahead and sell your boxes back and get out, rather than trying to do the work and sell them because you may not be confident that you actually can sell them. I'm just throwing that out. I'm just saying they could. That would be a way.
It has to be that you don't want to do the work because there's no other reason to do it.
Well, if you could go ahead and flip a box that you don't actually have and make $75 each time.
Yeah, but I can't imagine that Dave and Adams is paying until they receive shipment.
Oh yeah, it's probably something along those lines.
Like, there's no way they're just sending out $175 checks to people without getting something first.
Say that you bought something from them, you can be like, hey, I just bought it. Don't ship it. I want to trade this in. I want you to pay me more money for it now.
Yeah, like there's no way. Now you probably are in some way. There might be a way that you're having to like redirect your shipment to them instead of, or something like that. I don't know, but I can assure you they're not writing checks before they're getting the product. Because if that's the case, anybody could just go and say, I have 5 boxes coming. Give me my, $800 and take off. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's what's going on. But yeah, I think that, like, if you are a VFriends community member and you are selling your boxes to Dave and Adams for $175, I think that's crazy. Because I guarantee you, Josh is going to would buy them from you. I guarantee
somebody would buy it like that.
Yeah, I guarantee you, Jay and Tom will buy them from you. I'd buy them from you. You'd probably buy them. Like, we know people that would buy them. You and I have been told, like, if you see them for sale, let me know and I'll buy them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we have access to that. So, like, why would people inside the community sell to DNA? I don't get it. Like, I don't think, and I don't know that they are, because I feel like if you have a little bit of common sense, right? Like, you would see that and be like, why would I sell to these guys when I could just sell them directly to Tom and Jay or directly to Josh?
Because, I mean, at worst, you're still going to make profit.
You're going to make your money out, the same amount of money, yeah. Or I'll give you $200 instead of $175. And now you're going to make $25 more off of it. You know what I mean? So, like, I just feel like a little bit of work gets you could get you more money and cut out this middleman that has become, and like I said, again, I don't know if people are actually doing that or not. So I don't know. I don't want to speak on it. I don't imagine that many people are, but because also I feel like, every time Dave and Adams sells out of their allotted, especially people like Dave and Adams, right? When they sell out of their allotment, pre-sale already, Topps is giving them more product. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to give them more because they sold out already. Like, hey, we already sold out of the 10 cases that you allotted us, so we need 10 more. And then when they pre-sell out of those, they get 10 more because the cases exist, right? Like, so it's not like they're having to buy them from you for $175 because they're going to get more from Topps. Unless Gary somehow gets all of them, which could happen as well, right? Everything that doesn't pre-sale, Gary just buys directly from Topps and he owns them all. And then they become V-Friends breaks.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild.
Well, and I mean, like we talked about before, right? Like, how many Series 1s does Gary own? Right? Like, how many boxes was he allotted in the pre-sale that he bought? There's no way that they didn't buy a box for every single opportunity that they had to buy one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if he has 100 VF1s, I don't know how many he has, but if he has 100, he bought 100 boxes.
And I mean, I remember them trying to do a calculation of like how many boxes they think are still left of the 1,000. And I think Rips was said, and I could be wrong, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't, said that he would think that there's at least they're close to probably half of them have been open.
Of the Series 1 boxes you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or half of them has been opened, and they're still and the other half is either sealed somewhere. So let's just say
thrown away.
Let's just say half of them been open. So you're at 500 now. Let's say that V-Friends has 200 in a storage.
Right.
That leaves 300 total boxes out there in the wild, which then you got to think about how many people actually have a sealed box that they're just sitting on.
Right.
So you're probably looking at, if just that quick math or whatever, which is probably totally wrong, that only leaves about another 175 boxes out there just kind of in the wild somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, give or take some numbers, but if that's right, if it's about 500 left.
Yeah. I mean, Rips would have a pretty good idea of just because they don't get opened very often. Right. Yeah. And when they do, it's pretty easy to calculate because you're only opening one, maybe two at a time. It's not a scenario where we're opening 15 blasters of absolute football. You know what I mean? In one shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how this works. So, if Tom, besides the fact that every time somebody runs a break on one, they Gary, buy a spot. So, they know how many, give or take, how many of them have been opened as far as breaks and stuff are concerned, for sure. and then you could add a number on top of that, and you could get pretty close, I think, to what actually exists left, with some easy calculations. I think you could get pretty close.
Yeah,
for sure, for sure. I was gonna say something else about. I don't remember what it was now. Oh well, it'll either come back to me or it won't. One or the other.
Oh, yeah,
Those are the two options.
I'm just gonna ask you this too. So
it's not. I'm
this
not
is
fighting the dang. I'm not fighting the dang horse-sized hamster, dude. I'm not doing it.
But I still got a question for that too. But so me and Miami Mike are doing this little short film type deal.
Okay.
And it's about resilience. And so we released like a little short snippet video about 2 weeks ago. And then we're putting together like a longer form of that video, but it's going to lead to me and him kind of doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we were trying to brainstorm how we can do it, because we're basically going to talk. It's basically we're going to talk about, each of us going to talk about a story of resilience that we were kind of like went through in our lives, and kind of like talking about that. The podcast, the little podcast thing wasn't really planned. It was just, he reached out and was like, "Hey, you want to do like a short little video with a new resilience hat that happens? We can do this and this and this." I was like, "Sure." And then like as we were talking, it led to, well, we could always like have this as like kind of an interlude, and then actually have a long form video to talk about it. That way you don't have to actually cram everything in this short little 3-minute video that you're trying to set up. Could be just an interlude or a preview, and then actually we'll have like just a sit down like we're doing right now.
Right.
So maybe we might need your help in that sense. And
my consulting fees are pretty high. No, I'm kidding.
and then the background where it's gold, if we could like, if it was easy enough to make one and have it like maroon, so that way we're talking about the resilient, because we're both gonna be wearing the hat, it would go along with that.
I mean, this is actually the super sticker background, but I could change the color of it, I think.
Yeah, no rush. No, don't worry about it right now. Once we get everything set up and get that put, because we're doing the video now. He's doing it or putting something together, because I sent him some clips. So once that's out, then we'll probably talk about the next step.
Yeah, that's cool. Heck
but,
yeah.
But yeah, he reached out. It was a pretty good concept that he reached out to me about, and it was like, I was like, okay, why not? Something different. Maybe get my acting career, popping off.
Yeah, heck yeah. I've been thinking about reading Anthony's book and recording it, doing an audio book version of it, and just recording the audio, not video. Just recording the audio, and doing just like an audio book version of his book. I don't know if that is something that he's got in the works through Amazon or something, through Audible or whatever, but I think it would be fun, just because I want to practice. Cool. I want to practice my like voiceover work and stuff, because I think that's kind of something I've always been interested in, and I've never really like done a whole lot of anything about it. I don't know if you saw, I posted myself reading one of the comics, and I took the one of the Sunday comics, and I took the comic and I made it so that like when I'm reading this part, it's on the screen, so it's like a video reading through the comic. So that was kind of cool. It was fun to do. But
so you wanted to like be like a voice actor type deal, like if the cartoons, you're the voice of that character?
Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. Even if it's just audio books or whatever. Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. I just think it's fun to do. But maybe it's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe it's something.
That's cool, because like actually it's funny, because like I watched something the other day and I saw like some voice actors where they were actually reading the script and doing it while the cartoon's playing. It's like a side-by-side view.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, like I really just assumed they just sat back in a booth and just read something.
No, they like acted out.
Yeah, but then I was like, man, this is kind of like, I'm sure there's some that they actually sit there and just read, but like this was like one that you actually had to put a lot of thought and effort into making it work. And it's just,
well, a
and
lot
so,
of times they'll like literally be like, it's almost like doing it like theatrically, right? Like they will, like, you know, they'll do the, you know, a sword thrust or, you know, or whatever
yeah,
while they're doing it, because that gives you that inflection that you need to make it, you know, like if you were talking about, or if you were trying to make a sound or say something while you were getting hit by somebody, like you have to act like you're getting hit by somebody to make that sound the right way. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
so you kind of have to almost, it's like doing theater, not on a stage, essentially, you know? So, but anyway, I've been thinking about doing that. I thought it'd be cool. I'm going to do some more of the comics too. And maybe do his book. I think it'd be fun to just read through and record myself reading through his book, and then just post it on YouTube and tell him, hey, look, I did this in case people want to do an audio version of your book. Here it is, you know, because I don't know what it takes to get it onto Audible, right? Like audiobook style. Yeah. But if there's a YouTube link that he could go to, like, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, he may actually have a way to do it where he can just upload it or something. Because he probably at some point, he may be putting his book on Audible, and he may have like controller controls over or whatever, and be able to just upload your reading.
Yeah. Well, somebody has to read it, right? So like either the person that wrote it, or you hire someone to do it. Which is why a lot of books don't make it onto Audible, because you either have to pay somebody to read it, or you have to read it yourself, right? And so, you know, so a lot of books don't go that route unless they have the ability to pay someone to do it.
And then you'll be like, hey, just throw this up there, hook it up.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah. And it doesn't even have to go on Audible. Like I would, you know, I'm just saying I would just do it and upload it to my YouTube or whatever. And then if he wants to share it so that people can listen to it, he can. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I did want to. Oh, dang it! What was I gonna? I just had the thing that I was gonna say came back into my head, and then I lost it again. What is going on? That's crazy. Oh, I wanted to remind people that on the next episode of the show, this is episode 9. For episode 10, we're going to do a POAP. So if you don't know what POAPs are, explain what a POAP is.
A POAP is pretty much proof of attendance protocol is what I think it means.
That's right.
So basically, see, you tried to test me. So basically what it is, it's kind of like getting a token that you were there. So like if you went to a football game and they gave you a little token that said that date, it's just something like that. It's a digital collectible. Like we were talking earlier, like it has something to do with Ethereum in a way.
Yeah.
But this one won't, because it will just be a free POAP. I don't know. So, and it's just cool to collect because it'll be a certain design of that particular event, whatever it may be.
Our 10th episode.
And then you just kind of have it, and you can go in there and share memories, like what happened, like, you know, if something crazy happened on the show that you said.
Why does it have to be me saying something crazy? No.
Yeah, you can go clip that and download it in there.
Clip it.
Which brings me to another idea. Maybe we can start doing for like next week's shows. Start maybe answering some questions from the community.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that.
Maybe we can answer like 1 or 2 questions in the community or from community members and give them a shout out in the video.
I think that's a great idea. I think that, we should just start doing that when we post, just asking people, hey, if you want to ask us a question, do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you never know. You might get Kowski in there with some.
Yeah, he's got questions.
And I mean,
you've got questions. We've got answers. Now we're going to get sued by whatever company it is that says that. You've got questions. We've got answers.
And it may not be answered correctly, but you'll get an answer.
That's what I tell people all the time. People will walk into my shop and they'll go, "Hey, I have a question," and I'm like, "I've got an answer." I don't know if they go together, but I've got an answer. It might not be the one you're looking for. It might not even pertain to this conversation at all, but I've got an answer.
Yeah.
When I was working out back in the day, when I was doing CrossFit, when I first started doing CrossFit, the coach they would always explain the workout, go through the movements, like, this is what we're doing, you know, does anybody have any questions? And I would always ask some kind of stupid, off the wall, had nothing to do with anything question. And so he finally started going, "Does anybody have any questions about the workout?" And I'm like, "All right, fine, fair enough. I'll stop." Oh, it was pretty funny.
He probably dreaded that moment.
He was like, "Oh, Tim's here again. Oh gosh, I have to deal with this guy." All right, so you have a hypothetical. You said you have a hypothetical question for me.
Yeah, I've been
kind of break one out.
I've had some popping up, but I haven't found the right one.
You got to figure it out. We're going to end the show on a hypothetical here.
Some of these are not.
They're a little too far, huh?
They're not really. I don't know.
You just got to pick one.
Okay, yeah. I got one. I got one that I thought. I just want to make sure I had a chance. I didn't really look. Would you rather? All right.
Would you rather?
All right, here we go. This is one. There's another one that was kind of cool. We might could hit both of them. You never know. But here's the question. If you had to replace your hands with any two random objects from your house, what are you choosing and how would you survive? So you had to choose two items in your house.
The first thing that came to mind was scissors, but I think that's simply because of Edward Scissorhands.
Dude, yeah, that's where my mind went too.
But also, I think that scissors isn't a terrible answer for at least one of the hands, because it gives you like a knife, it gives you scissors, it gives you like, that's a very utility based item. Like, you can do a lot of things with scissors. You could defend yourself with scissors. You can open packages. You can, if you're careful, you can pick things up without, you can, obviously you don't want to cut the thing, but you can pick things up with scissors, as Edward learned. He had to be careful. So I think one would definitely be scissors. I just feel like there's too many things you can do with a pair of scissors. The other one would probably be, my left hand would be scissors, and my right hand.
You gotta remember, how would you survive though? Like, if you still had to like do daily stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to do something with your other hand has to be like something a little more, with different utilities than the scissors. So the scissors give me stabby, cutty, scissory, like some form of pickup to some degree.
Yeah, and I think, and honestly,
like, you're not going to go pee with your scissor hand. That's for sure.
No.
So we definitely need a different thing for the other hand, because you're not using that for that. So, I was thinking something like a clamp or something, but I feel like that's not enough use. There's not enough things you can do with that. It's got to be something with more utility than just biting down on things, right? It's got to do something else. Man, I don't know.
Because with the scissors, you can use that as your knife to cut food and eat with it. So like,
sure, you can use the scissors for a lot of things if you're good. Like, once you get good enough with them, like, the scissors is a good answer. I think it's going to take some getting used to, but I think it's a good answer.
I think you're right. I think you're on the right track with something that's kind of like,
you almost need something grippy. Yeah. What if my hand was like an industrial version of one of those grabber dinosaur heads?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's scissors on one side, and then the long reach, grabby handle, trash picker upper thing on the other side. Because you can like open doors with that, right? You can get around. Yeah. You could grab a small animal and then stab it with your scissors to eat it, right? Like there's things you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Scissors,
I mean,
grabby.
without thinking too much into it, I think those are two good choices. So
Yeah.
here's the other one.
There's one more.
Um, uh, where's that one at?
We don't know. He lost
Okay, here we
it.
go. Here we go. I found it. There was like 20 of them. Would you rather have elbows that made fart noises every time you bend them, or hiccups that sound like evil laughter?
So every time I bend, my elbow fart noises.
Yeah, anytime you bend it, your elbow farts.
Or
every time
hiccup,
you
it sounds like evil laughter when I hiccup. Man, okay, so when I was 10, I definitely would have chosen the elbow fart. But I think now I would choose the evil laughter hiccup. I feel like elbow fart is like, that's too much.
because you're going to be hearing that daily. With
All
the evil
the
laughter, you may not hear the laughter, but every so often.
Right. And like if you bend your elbow in your sleep, you'd think you farted yourself. Like you might think you pooped, you know? Like it would be a distraction. It would be a real bad thing. Like, yeah, the hiccup one I think is the answer. That's now, like I said, 30 years ago, definitely pick an elbow fart noise.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Because you just be running around doing like this. I'm gonna try to input a fart noise here in the video.
Yeah, like
yeah, because you definitely be doing that. That's crazy. I think though now I would have to pick the hiccup. I don't get the hiccups that often. Now I'm gonna have them, and they're gonna sound like evil laughter. Is it like more evil laughter, or is it like I don't know? Well, interesting.
When I think of evil laughter, I'm thinking of more of the high pitched.
Like a Cruella de Vil kind of laughter or something maybe.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting.
Sure.
I didn't bring any hypotheticals for you. Let me see. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna random hypothetical. Would you rather world tour rather? That is not what I meant to say. My phone, bro. Would you rather? 100 would you rathers from Men's Health. Are these the ones that you've been asking me?
No, I've just been going to Chat GTP.
Okay.
GPT.
Oh, we can't do that. Nope, we can't do that one. All right, I'm just going to do this one. I haven't even read it yet. Would you rather sing your favorite song in front of a sold-out arena crowd or in front of the original artist alone in a room? That's a weird question, but that's the question that I have.
I mean, honestly, with the artist alone in the room, because like,
yeah,
you get to hang out with them.
Yeah. I would also love to sing in front of a sold-out arena crowd, though. So I'd have a hard time with that one.
Not me, dude.
Yeah, no, I would. Dude, I thrive. I love to be like on stage in the lights. Like anytime they ask me to do anything from stage at church, I'm like, yes, I'll do it. And like I know that sounds a little bit weird because it's not supposed to be about me, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, yep. They're like, oh, you want to host the game for youth? I'm like, yep. Oh, you want to, on April, we have youth on Wednesday nights, and April 1st was on a Tuesday. So we didn't get to like April Fool's joke them on April 1st. So on April 2nd, on April 2nd, Wednesday night, we did 2 April Fool's jokes. One of them was me and one of the other leaders hijacked worship and started singing. Like we went up on stage and started singing instead of the normal like worship band. And it was super funny. And then the second joke was when we play a game, and then they get to spin a wheel, and one of the things on the wheel is pie in the face. So like it's got stuff you can win or stuff that like you might not really want to win, but if you land on it, you do. So we changed all the pieces to pie in the face, so that it didn't matter what it landed on. You got pie in the face. So it was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, I think I would rather do the. I don't know. And like you said, ultimately I would rather do the in the room with the artist, because, like you said, then you get to meet them, right? But also there's something about being on stage that's like awesome for me.
Yeah, I guess that question depends on like your personality. Like I would never want to be on stage, so
Right.
that'd be something I'm like, oh, that's an easy pick for me.
Easy pick. One in the room. Let's do it. Well, cool. We made it through that. Let's say goodbye to the people, and we'll be back for another episode. Thanks for watching episode 9 of the Jolly and Slimm Show.